Wow. Happy Christmas to all our friends all over the world. We wish you many, many more Christmas and many, many more years. Today we bring to you a very awaiting speech coming directly from Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel himself. He gave a very powerful speech today, that is 25th of December 2025, which is say that every persecuted Christian all over the world, they are there and they are with them to fight with them. Mostly those in Nigeria, those that is in Nigeria, the Islamic people is persecuting, and the jihadist is trying to wipe out on the surface of this earth. They are there to fight and to defend every Christians all over the world, mostly in Nigeria. This has been something that everybody have been waiting for, to hear and to see the movement, because since when the US President Donald Trump made a speech that he wants to come to Nigeria, since then the Nigerian government, they have been battering themselves and been fighting themselves to make sure that Donald Trump did not come into Nigeria. So finally, Netanyahu have come this time, and he have said that every persecuted Christian all over the world, mostly in Nigeria, that they are there to fight and to defend them, both their faith and whatever they believe, not those that is fighting to kill and to destroy people's life. So in this video, you are going to hear it and you are going to watch it by yourself. Don't skip any part of it, because this video is full of a lot of information and a lot of things to tell you. So as you're about to watch, try to like, subscribe, and share the video good, and let others see things happening in Nigeria and in Biafra. Thank you for watching.
The persecution of Christians or members of any religion cannot and must not be tolerated. And Muslim militant displacement and attacks against Christians in Nigeria, that too must end, and it must end now. I'm sending Israel's Christmas blessings to our Christian friends around the world, and I ask you, know that Israel will always stand with you. From Jerusalem, I send warm greetings to our Christian friends around the world. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. From here, the Holy Land, Israel, the only country in the Middle East where the Christian community is thriving. Israel is the only country in the Middle East where Christians can practice their faith with full rights and in total freedom, where Christian pilgrims are embraced with open arms and are so deeply appreciated, where Christians can celebrate proudly their traditions and openly do so without any fear. In Jerusalem, the city municipality every year officially distributes Christmas trees. It's been doing so for 2 decades. By contrast, a few days ago, in the Palestinian town of Jenin, Palestinians burnt a Christmas tree in the Holy Redeemer Church. That's the difference. Israel stands up for Christians across the region, wherever they face widespread intimidation and persecution. While Israel's Christian population is growing, the Christian population in countless areas across the region has been dwindling due to systematic discrimination and oppression. This has happened in Iraq, it's happened in Syria, it's happened in Lebanon, it's happened in Turkey, and it's happening in the Palestinian Authority. The birthplace of Jesus, Bethlehem, used to have 80% Christian population. That's when we were there. When we left and gave it to the Palestinian Authority, it has since dwindled from 80% to 20%. The persecution of Christians or members of any religion cannot and must not be tolerated. And Muslim militant displacement and attacks against Christians in Nigeria, that too must end, and it must end now. I'm sending Israel's Christmas blessings to our Christian friends around the world, and I ask you, know that Israel will always stand with you.
Thank God that world leaders are finally recognizing and openly calling out the growing insecurity in Nigeria. For a long time, the cries of ordinary Nigerians were ignored, dismissed, or downplayed. But now, the issue is gaining international attention, and that matters a lot. It started with US President Donald Trump, who raised concerns about the persistent killings and instability in Nigeria. Recently, we have also heard comments from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Even global celebrities like musician Nicki Minaj have spoken openly about the insecurity and loss of lives in Nigeria. When people with global influence speak, the world listens. This international attention has done what years of internal complaints could not do. It has moved the Nigerian government to action. Sadly, without this level of outrage and external pressure, our leaders appeared comfortable doing little or nothing while citizens continued to die. It is painful to say this, but it is the truth many Nigerians know. Across the country, from the north to the south, insecurity has become a daily reality. Terrorist attacks, banditry, kidnappings, communal clashes, and senseless killings have turned normal activities into life-threatening risks. Farmers are afraid to go to their farms, travelers are scared of highways, families sleep with one eye open, hoping they are not the next victims. What makes this situation even more heartbreaking is that Nigerians have cried out for help for years. Civil society groups, religious leaders, community heads, and ordinary citizens have spoken again and again. Yet, the response from those in power has often been slow, defensive, or completely absent. Ironically, these world leaders and public figures have done more to amplify the sufferings of Nigerians than many of our own leaders. By speaking up, they have forced the international community and our government to pay attention. Their voices have validated what Nigerians have been saying all along, that there is a serious security crisis in Nigeria that cannot be ignored. We, the ordinary Nigerians, appreciate this support, not because we want foreign interference, but because human lives matter. Every Nigerian life matters, whether in the village or the city, whether rich or poor, whether Christian or Muslim. All we want is simple. We are not asking for miracles. We are not asking for propaganda or empty speeches. We are asking for safety. We are asking for leadership that values human life above politics and power. Let the killing of Nigerians stop. Let children go to school without fear. Let farmers return to their land. Let travelers move freely without terror. Let Nigerians live. That is all we ask. Simple.
That is it. What we want in the country, it is to live in peace without fear and without intimidation. Without speaking that once you talk about Islam, the next thing they will tell you it is blasphemy. Whether you are part of them or you are not part of them, the next thing they will trying to behead you or to take you down. So all those saying it is what the Christian is facing in the country, which is not right. Well, we thank God that now the Israel Prime Minister have come up with this. The government and those evil people, they will know what to do, and they will understand that this time is no more before, like the way it used to be. It is no more. So, well, I would like you to watch this video, the issue between the Rochas Okorocha that went to visit Mazam Nekano and later chased away, and then later rejected by Mazam Nekano for him not to be accepted in the place where Mazam Nekano is. So, sit by and watch it to the end. This video is very interesting and very, very...
The drama unfolding at the Sokoto Correctional Facility is stirring up more controversy by the day, and it's all centered around the high-profile case of Nnamdi Kanu and former Governor Rochas Okorocha. According to reports, Kanu, who is currently being held at Sokoto Prison, refused to meet with Rochas Okorocha during his recent visit. This incident is not just about a refusal to meet, it's sending strong political and social messages, and it's raising eyebrows across the nation. Now, let's break this down for everyone to understand what's really going on. Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been at the center of a heated and ongoing political battle. His group, IPOB, has called for the independence of Biafra, a move that has sparked conflict between Kanu and various political figures, both in the southeast and beyond. But here's the interesting part. Kanu was allegedly asked to meet Rochas Okorocha, the former governor of Imo State, who is a prominent figure in Nigerian politics. Okorocha had visited Kanu in prison, hoping to offer some form of support or intervention, perhaps trying to mediate in his case. But Kanu wasn't having any of it. Prison sources revealed that Kanu declined to come out to see Okorocha and instead ordered prison officials to escort him away. In fact, he is said to have accused Okorocha of contributing to the suffering of the Igbo people. Kanu reportedly said he would not receive anyone linked to the hardship and bloodshed faced by his people. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Okorocha, a former governor and an influential political figure, is seen by some as a representative of the political establishment that Kanu is so fiercely against. To Kanu, Okorocha represents the status quo, the same system that, in his view, oppresses the Igbos. This action by Kanu is a direct statement about his position, not just against Okorocha, but also against the entire political class. It's clear that Kanu sees Okorocha's past leadership as one that didn't prioritize the welfare of the Igbos. In fact, this incident has raised a lot of questions. Is Kanu's decision to reject Okorocha an indication that he's not willing to engage with any politician who he feels has betrayed the Igbo cause? And what does this mean for other political figures in Nigeria, especially those who have supported or been linked to the establishment? The reactions to this incident have been wide-ranging. Many of Kanu's supporters, especially those within the IPOB movement, have cheered his stance. They see him as standing firm on his principles, refusing to be associated with anyone he believes has contributed to the oppression of the Igbo people. They argue that the leadership in Nigeria has done little to address the issues facing the Southeast, and Kanu's decision to shut out Okorocha is a reflection of the deep frustration that many feel about the lack of progress and attention given to the region. On the other hand, there are those who see Kanu's actions as a bit extreme. Some believe that rejecting a fellow Igbo man, especially someone as influential as Okorocha, might not be the best way to foster unity in the region. They argue that while Kanu has a point about the suffering of the Igbo people, his refusal to engage with Okorocha could lead to further division, rather than offering a chance for dialogue or collaboration. Okorocha, for his part, has been one of the more vocal Igbo politicians in the national political arena, often positioning himself as a unifier. His past efforts to work within the Nigerian political system have earned him both supporters and detractors. But one thing is clear. Kanu's rejection of Okorocha shows how deep the political divisions are within the Igbo community. But let's not forget the legal side of this whole story. Nnamdi Kanu's imprisonment has been one of the most controversial cases in Nigerian politics. Kanu was arrested and detained on charges related to terrorism and treason, with many arguing that the case was politically motivated. His supporters believe that Kanu is being unfairly targeted for his activism, while critics argue that he's a threat to national security. What's important to understand is that Kanu's legal situation is far from over. He is currently in Sokoto prison, and his legal team has been fighting for him to be transferred to a facility closer to Abuja, where he can better prepare for his appeal. But here's where it gets complicated. Sokoto is over 700 kilometers away from Abuja, and many believe this is hindering Kanu's ability to properly access his legal team and resources. This situation has added fuel to the fire, with many calling the long-distance transfer a tactic to make it more difficult for Kanu to fight his case effectively. His supporters argue that this move is a deliberate attempt to keep him isolated, away from the people who could help him win his case. It's a matter of convenience, access, and ultimately justice. Kanu's lawyers had filed a request to move him closer to Abuja, but the court denied this request earlier this year. According to reports, the court ruled that the government needed to be consulted, and the case has been adjourned until January 2026. So for now, Kanu remains in Sokoto, far from the political and legal center of Nigeria, making it even harder for him to advocate for his release. The broader implications of Kanu's detention are massive, and they go beyond just his personal case. The ongoing tension between the Nigerian government and IPOB highlights a much larger issue: ethnic and regional divisions. For many in the southeast, Kanu has become a symbol of the struggle for greater autonomy and recognition. They feel that the Nigerian government has long ignored their needs, while their grievances continue to be sidelined in national discourse. In this sense, Kanu's situation is a flashpoint. For these long-standing issues, the treatment of Kanu and the response to his activism have ignited the debates about the future of the Igbo people within the Nigerian state. But here's something important to note. Rochas Okorocha's visit to Kanu at the prison is a story in itself. Why did Okorocha choose to visit Kanu, knowing the deeper political rift between them? Was he genuinely trying to broker peace, or was this just a political move to improve his image among certain constituencies? Okorocha has always positioned himself as a leader who is willing to work with both the Nigerian government and opposition groups to secure the future of the Southeast. His visit to Kanu could be seen as an attempt to show that he is willing to engage with all sides, even those who oppose him. For Kanu, however, the decision to shut Okorocha out speaks volumes. It shows just how strongly he feels about the political betrayal he perceives from certain leaders. Kanu's actions are a call for those in positions of power to take responsibility for the plight of the Igbo people. It's a reminder that the struggle for justice and equality is not just about legal battles. It's about the deep-seated issues of governance, leadership, and the role of politicians in shaping the future of Nigeria's diverse communities. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. Kanu's rejection of Okorocha is just one incident in a much larger conversation about the future of Nigeria. The tension between the federal government and regional groups like IPOB is not just about Kanu, it's about the wider sense of frustration that many people in the southeast and other regions feel about their place in the country. Nigeria is a nation of diverse ethnic groups, and each group has its own unique challenges. The question that we need to ask ourselves is, how do we ensure that all voices are heard and represented in our national discourse? As we've discussed, the incident at Sokoto prison isn't just about Kanu refusing to meet with Okorocha. It's emblematic of the larger political and ethnic divides within Nigeria. The Southeast, in particular, has been at the heart of many of these issues. And Kanu, for many, represents a voice for those who feel sidelined by the Nigerian government. The tension surrounding his detention, his leadership of IPOB, and the growing frustration among his supporters isn't just about one individual's struggle for justice. It's about the struggles of an entire region that feels unheard and oppressed.
Oh yes, that is very nice. The way Mazam Kanu rejects Rocha Sukrocha for visiting him at Sokoto prison is very, very good way, and it is a very nice way. All of them that is here, they are corrupt. Both the governors, both the present and the past, and they are the one that is joining hand with the federal government to marginalize and to persecute the eastern states, the Igbos, because whenever people rise up to speak, what you will hear is that, don't you have representative, don't you have governor, don't you have senate? And once they are in power, they will never listen to anybody. They will never listen to anybody's speech, because they believe that they have the power and they have everything to do. So whatever you are saying, it is not. For him to start going to Sokoto to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are the main people that prison Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So going there to visit him is just a sign to mock him and to tell him that, hey, I told you that you will not do anything. So the way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu rejects his visit is a very welcome development. It's very nice. It is very nice. It is a sign that Kanu is not somebody that deal with all those corrupt members in the East, because all this while they are trying how to bribe him and how to push him into this corrupt system, but he did not allow them. That is the main problem he's having with all those politicians. And even he have already accepted to collect their bribe. Since now, they would have leave him to go. But because of that, he did not want to collect their bribe. That is why they are still holding him. They know that he did not commit any crime, and he did not kill or he did not do anything that will warrant the government to sentence him to life imprisonment. Just that he did not accept their corrupt way and their way and the things they are doing. So, my people, I would like to hear a comment down below, like, subscribe, and share it to go and let others see things happening in Biafra land. And thank you for watching.